All right, welcome back to TCI headquarters. Time for our weekly preview and predictions segment. Everybody can go out and bet their house and lose their house this week, or we'll see how that
We
goes.
hit it last week.
Hit it. I thought it'd be a blowout. Didn't quite think it'd be quite as. I guess score-wise, it probably ended up about what I thought.
You were closer than anybody else.
You know, I thought we'd score a lot. I think I said 45, and geez, they did that in the first half.
I had them covering, but my 35 points were done by the middle of the second quarter.
Boom. So that's great. That's a great problem to have. And we're going to see if we can get Will up a little higher, although I think the defense might be a little better that they faced. This week, Stanford coming in here undefeated in the conference.
Yeah.
So second week in a row, Clemson's playing an undefeated conference team. Of course, last week's game was the first one for NC State, so they would like to keep saying that. But this year, it's all about winning and making sure you make it to Charlotte. Another big game, a night game. Fans will be happy. We won't be happy, but we'll be sitting here at 2 in the morning going, oh gosh, we should have been a noon game. All right, Will, what's your keys this week?
Yeah, the key I think this week is, you mentioned it earlier about how they've been playing really good defense. Last week they held Syracuse to like 59 yards rushing or something like that, and so they really just kind of said, okay, we're gonna let you throw the football, and they did. Syracuse did throw the football, but we don't feel like you can go straight down the field. I'm interested to see what they do this week, because Clemson's got shown balance on running and passing more than Syracuse has, obviously. And so I'm interested to see if they try to make Clemson one-dimensional. Do they load up the box and try to take away the run, which is what I think they're going to try to do. And then if they do, that's going to put some one-on-one opportunities for Clemson. Obviously, I like Clemson's skill players better than Syracuse. I think that's an advantage for Clemson. So my key to this game is, I think it's going to be up to Cade Klubnik and these receivers. Just be what they've done the last couple of weeks. Stay on page together. Guys got to get open. They got to win those one-on-one battles, as Dabo again talked about on Tuesday at his Tuesday press conference. They're going to have some opportunities to make some plays downfield. They got to make them. It's as simple as that. If they make them, that's going to open up things in the run game. Phil Moffitt's going to be doing what he's been doing. So it all kind of boils together, but I think it starts with Cade Klubnik and those wide receivers.
Well, I'm going to go to the other side of the field. I'm going to say the key this week is the defense. As we talked about earlier, people complaining about points late in the game against the third team. And gosh, some 14 guys. First team's played great the last 2 weeks. They may need to play great more than just a half this week. They may need to play really good defense going into the fourth quarter. So I'm going to go with the key to the game is for Clemson defense to continue to play well, but to play well consistently and probably deep into the game. And that's going to probably depend on some of these guys that aren't starters that are going to have to come in here. If the first team D's got to go into the fourth quarter, some of these guys are going to have to come in and give those guys some rest during that time. And some of those guys, hopefully, that are raising their level of the game, like the Hofflers and the Lawsons and some of those guys. Sammy Brown, we see in his progression every week. Just want that first team and a few spot guys from the second team that'll fill in. Just want to see those guys continue to play at a high level. If they do, the way Clemson offense is playing, who knows, maybe the game could be over again at halftime. But we're going to find that out in a minute when we give our score predictions. So we'll score predictions. Is this game going to be over? Fans going to be leaving early halftime and not coming back, or are they going to be sticking around for the second half?
Yeah, that's a good question, because I think Stanford, they're a little more different. I think they're playing more confidence than NC State was coming in, and even though NC State was 2-1 as well, but NC State's wins weren't anything to go write home about, right? Where Stanford went to Syracuse, a team that just beaten Georgia Tech and had a bye week, was feeling good about themselves and was undefeated. They went to Syracuse and beat them in a big win, and they got a pick six. They did to help that. Their defense made some plays. So I think this is a game especially when you look at their offense with the quarterback Ashton Daniels. By the way, his dad played at Georgia. He's a Southern boy.
Never heard that.
Yeah, so he's a Southern boy. He understands Clemson, knows what Clemson's about. That he's actually going to have a large contingent of fans here, obviously because it's his real first home game. Homecoming, if you will, as close as he can get, because Atlanta's only a couple hours down the road, which is where he's from. So he's excited about that. So I think he's going to play with a lot of emotion. as Dabo said on Tuesday, he's a running quarterback. He can cause some problems with his legs, so they got to stay home. They got to watch their lanes. It's going to be a little more different than it was the last couple of weeks where they had, I think, obviously C.J. Daniels was a guy that could give him a problem with his legs, but that wasn't his thing. Ashton's going to come in here, Ashton Daniels is going to come in here and really cause trouble with legs. So if Clemson gets out of the rush lanes and stuff, it could be problematic. So I think with all that said, I think you're going to stay in your seats at halftime because I think Stanford's going to, I think they're a little bit better defensively than NC State, and I think their offense is a little bit more confident in themselves, and I think they're going to give it a game. I think Clemson's going to win it, but I think it's not going to be a game's over at halftime like it has been the last 2 weeks.
All right. So what's your score going to be?
So my score is going to be probably similar to what it was last week. I still think Clemson's offense is going to put up some numbers. I'm going to go a little bit higher. I'm going to go 38-14 Clemson.
High?
Yeah, a little bit higher.
Can you get higher?
No, I still, at some point...
He's still stealing a wheel. It's all about the defense.
Yeah, I want to see Clemson's defense. I do want to see Clemson's defense. And, of course, if the game's a little bit closer, then Clemson's defense plays the whole game, and then Stanford doesn't have as many
38
points.
to
14.
14?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's a 24-point win. That's covering the spread.
All right. No backdoor cover this week.
No backdoor cover. I think Clemson's
So
the
fans
better
are leaving
team.
at the beginning of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, fans might leave at the beginning of the fourth quarter.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I keep going. After the Georgia game, I said the offense has got to prove it. Cade's got to prove it. Last 2 weeks, absolutely proved it.
Yeah.
Went a little higher last week. I agree with you, Will. I think Stanford's a better team than NC State. I think their defense is better. I think they will run the ball better. I'm not sure they'll throw the ball better. We'll see. They do have that really good receiver. I'm going to go higher than I did last week, which I'm starting to get a little bit in the danger zone. But again, I'm thinking, well, you know what? I'm going to pull back. No, I'm going to go ahead and go out there a little bit. I'm going to pull back a little bit because Clemson's got to go on the road 2 weeks after this. You wonder, at some point, obviously, the decision, and last week the decision was we're going to play Cade one series in the third quarter, and then we're pulling him.
Yeah.
I think Cade will play longer. I think offense will play into the third quarter this week. I'm going to go Clemson 52, Stanford 17.
Okay.
All right. So we're kind
It's a little bit better defensively because they had 59 last week, and so Stanford on the 52 would be a little bit better.
We're right.
Clemson,
just the offense, gosh, the way they're rolling. I know Stanford's playing well, but Stanford has not played a team like Clemson.
They haven't, and Clemson obviously has played a team better than Stanford and Georgia. So Clemson knows what can happen on the other side if you don't play well, and I think that's probably in the back of their heads, and that helps. So yeah, this is Stanford though. They're coming into Death Valley. Hopefully the rain's all out of here by then, and it's going to be a great Death Valley atmosphere at night, and then hopefully Clemson fixed the heel problem, and so that'll be a better situation as well.
I've seen Kyle McCord on some Heisman lists.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see Cade at the bottom of some of those.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing some where they still got McCord ahead of Cade. And McCord's been putting up a lot of yards, but I think overall QBR and everything else, I think Cade's
Well, he's taking care of
ahead of him. So I think that'd be a great battle between the two quarterbacks.
Yeah, I think so too. And Cade's got 11 touchdowns on the year, 1 interception. He's thrown for 8, run for 3. He's taking care of the football. That's the number one thing, and he's completing 75% of his passes. That's something else.
2 straight weeks, I think QBR over 99.
Yeah, first Clemson quarterback in history.
That's right.
To have back-to-back.
Did Deshaun Watson do that?
No.
Did Trevor Lawrence do that?
No.
Okay.
Did Taj Boyd do that? No. Did Homer Jordan? No.
Mike Eppley?
No. So Kelly Bryant? No. So yeah, he's done something. DJ? No. But he's done 90 back-to-back weeks at QBR of 99 or above. First time in Clemson history that's happened for a quarterback at Clemson. So, can he make it 3 weeks in a row? I think he can. To be honest with you, he's seeing the field not as good as any quarterback I've ever seen. Clemson.
Seeing the field, and that offensive line still has yet to give up a sack.
Yeah,
They've got a couple sacks, but they've been on the quarterback. You can't ask for better play than that. This will be a good test for them.
This will be a good test.
Stanford defense.
The next 2 weeks are going to be a good test for that offensive line. But they didn't give up a sack against Georgia.
Right.
Georgia's still the best defensive line they've seen.
Right.
Yeah, and we'll probably see all year, to be honest with you. So, you know that, and I think that's what they showed Cade. It's like, hey, Cade, look at this. These guys, they're doing their job.
We got
you don't got to worry.
You got time.
You got time. Just go through your progressions. Do what you got to do. And that's what he's done. He's trusted his offensive line, and boy, it's amazing when a quarterback trusts his offensive line how different he is as a player.
All right, so go bet your house, take Clemson.
Don't bet your house.
Go over,
Don't.
take the points. Give up points, you get to go. Maybe you take the over. All right, guys. Well, we'll have everything covered late night, all day long from Clemson here Saturday. We'll be back here Saturday night bringing you all the post-game coverage, and then we'll get ready to hit the road again. But stay tuned to TCI for the most complete coverage of Clemson football and recruiting.
This is Miles Murphy. Make sure to check out Clemson Insider's most complete football coverage. Nobody does it better.